All right, we showed you the video of that recent Harvard graduate who lost her job because of a video that she posted. It's been getting a ton of attention on social media for the last couple of days. She actually ended up getting fired from her job. Here she is talking about it.
The job that I had worked really hard to get and meant a lot to me just called me and fired me because, which I just got. My job that I worked really hard for.
That sounds pretty sad, doesn't it? I mean, if you just see that out of context, you feel bad for the girl. She worked hard. She obviously thought a lot of this job, and it sounds like she's a very nice person. But you got to wonder, what did she say or do that got her fired? So let's take a listen to the video that actually preceded that caused her to lose her job.
The next person who has the sheer nerve, the sheer entitled caucasity to say all lives matter, I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna stab you. And while you're struggling and bleeding out, I'm gonna show you my paper cut and say, my cut matters too.
Oh, okay. That changes things a bit. She wants to stab people. I guess she's not as sweet as I might have thought. But check this out. Instead of taking responsibility for her words and blaming the actions, she's now blaming someone else for the consequences. And who would that be? Take a listen.
Trump supporters just took my job away from me. I've gotten death threats, rape threats, violent threats. It was okay. But now it's just like my future. My future's entirely compromised because Trump supporters have decided to come for my life. I'm too strong for you. I'm too strong for any of you. All lives matter. Racist Trump supporters.
So let me just say this from the get-go. Violence is never the answer for anything. No matter what you believe, we can have a civil discussion about how to change this country and the issues that affect us. Totally get that. But let's just be clear about something. She threatens people with violence who may not agree with her on an issue, regardless of where you think of that issue. And then she gets upset because that video goes viral, and then she blames people for being upset about what she said, and now she's saying they're threatening her, when she was the one who talked about stabbing them over and over again and then watching them bleed out. Let me get this straight. Who's the one that she should feel sorry for? This is absolutely ridiculous. So the thing is, will videos like this hurt the Trump re-election bid, or could they actually help? Joining us now is Tim Graham, the Director of Media Analysis of the Media Research Center. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tim, here's the thing that I think is interesting. I want to put the issue aside from right now because that's sometimes we get too wrapped around that. As I said at the outset, violence is never, ever the answer. Regardless of what you think, we can always solve our differences, at least through civil discussions. And that's how, and then if you don't like the discussion, you figure out how to mobilize and change the laws in this country. You don't threaten people with violence, ever. But the thing that I find so funny is for 6 years I sat at the RNC, and every time little Billy would threaten somebody from, the 6th grade who happened to be running some kind of conservative club, the RNC would have to answer it. Here's someone on the left threatening violence, and there isn't a peep of this on the news. And I guarantee you, if she was advocating for some right-wing or conservative movement issue, that she would be all over the media as an example of why all people on the right are bad. But nothing, not a peep from CNN or those holy rollers and better than everyone else people at MSNBC.
Well, obviously, we have some obvious things that we pull out. The Covington Catholic kids. What did they do? Did they make any threats? They apparently had objectionable smirking, and they were a CNN sensation. So, I mean, I think you do feel bad for somebody like this, but the problem with young people today is this is their reaction to people who say things they don't like. They can't listen. They can't engage with a conversation. They get so upset with what you have to say, they say, I'm going to stab you and you're going to bleed out.
Tim, that's the point here, right? These Covington Catholic kids sit there and they don't say a word. They say nothing, and they become a media sensation and have their lives ruined. This girl threatens violence on people and wants people to weep for her because she lost her job. I can't believe that there's such a lack of media coverage for this. Tim, I appreciate you weighing in on this. I love the work that MRC is doing over there. I want to have you back real soon to be able to talk about some of the rest of the stuff that the media is covering and not covering. Thank you for being here. Have a great 4th.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.